Show me what you're crying for. I'll wipe your tears on up. If you're so taking love, we'll come for you for sure. If we're caught in a wave, I will carry you over. It don't matter where you are, I'll run to your front door. When my head goes in different directions, you know my heart's never on the move. And in the dark times, you don't have to question. Find my heart where we are. You could put an ocean between our love. It won't keep us apart. You could build a wall, run it up, just to get to your heart. If we're caught in a wave, baby, we'll make a way. You could put an ocean between our love. It won't keep us apart. You could build a wall. It won't keep us apart. You could build a shadows play on idle hands. I lose myself, but I find my way to velvet change. I'll crash right into you. If we're caught in a wave, I will carry you over. It don't matter where we are, you're still the one I choose. When my head goes in different directions, you know my heart's never on the move. And in the dark times, you don't have to question. Find my heart where we are. You could put an ocean between our love. It won't keep us apart. You could build a wall, run it up, just to get to your heart. If we're caught in a wave, baby, we'll make a way. You could put an ocean between our love. It won't keep us apart. You could build a sleeper, but I am a heavy dreamer. My imagination gives me wings, and I can go anywhere. And when I wander away to some other place, I'm suddenly there, way up in the air, where passenger trains catch fire and fill the sky with flames. And that black rabbit of death wakes up in a breath of beautiful dreams. My heartache, it seems so terribly vain, where fire and diamonds fall like rain. Do you believe in endless miracles? Do you believe in the impossible? Do you believe sleep is a time machine? Do you believe in curiosity? Do you believe in what you cannot see? Do you believe life is a lucid dream? Life is a lucid dream. Life is a lucid dream. Such is the path of a dreamer. I find my way by moonlight. My imagination gives me wings, and I can go anywhere. And when I wander away to some other place, I'm suddenly there, way up in the air, where passenger trains catch fire and fill the sky with flames. And that black rabbit of death wakes up in a breath of beautiful dreams. My heartache, it seems so terribly vain, where fire and diamonds fall like rain. Do you believe in endless miracles? Do you believe in the impossible? Do you believe sleep is a time machine? Do you believe in curiosity? Do you believe in what you cannot see? Do you believe life is a lucid dream? Life is a lucid dream.
Has anybody been to Daytona Beach, Florida? Mm-hmm. Okay, do you like it? Love it. Really? It's like the land of the walking dead out there. Ah! Yeah. No, but I did decompress, and then I enjoyed some time with my family. But you guys are my other family, and I'm grateful to be back here, and we're going to kick off this stakeholders meeting.
Yes. Yes, let's get this party started, you guys. We're not going to jump right into it, but you all know when Rachel's Kitchen's here, we know who we have to thank for that. Kevin Wool, one big clap for First American. He's going to come up and talk to you guys in just a few minutes. Before we get started with that, I have a really quick lead gen for you guys today because we've got a lot of people on the agenda and we're not going over today, I promise. We're going to just cut it off if we do.
Short and sweet.
All right. So with that being said, you guys have on your tables, and Ryan's going to put up on the screen, and here, this is for you.
Gracias.
You guys have 10 days of pain. And so I wanted to talk a little bit about this. For those of you who are getting leads in a variety of ways, you're open housing or you're circle prospecting or you're reaching out to internet leads. I know a lot of people are doing some social media leads. And how are you responding to that? I like to focus on Facebook a little bit because I know a lot of people have been running Facebook ads. And does anyone remember what is the average time of a Facebook lead or an Instagram lead to be a buyer or seller? 1 to 3 years is the typical turnaround for a Facebook lead. Are there cherries in there? Yes, there are. Those are great when somebody's ready to buy or sell right now. But most people are on social media just kind of playing around and thinking about their future plans. And so these are nurtures. That's why you can pay $45 and get 10 leads from Facebook. That's why they cost that amount. And for those of you who are newer to business, marketing is a lot more expensive than $45.
Yeah, it is.
Right? So, but they're really good leads. I've had people tell me lately, oh, I don't know if Facebook leads are good. Well, if you're just looking for cherries, really any lead source is going to be a little frustrating for you because not everybody is ready to buy or sell right now. But the great thing about the industry that we're in is that they will be ready to buy or sell at some point. And so with that being said, I want to tell you guys about 10 days of pain. And Buell actually had a great new name for it. What did you want to call it, Buell? 10 days to gain. Flip that mindset. This isn't painful. This is how can we help someone? And we want to make sure that of the other 18,000 agents that are reaching out to those Facebook leads or circle prospecting leads, that they remember you. So how many times does it take to reach out to someone before they will probably remember your name? 6 to 10, so you're both right. Thank you. Yes, 6 to 10 times. In advertising, it's 3 times that someone will hear or see, and I'm talking about broadcast media, radio, TV, 3 times for them to hear or see your name before they're even going to subconsciously remember it. That's why when you're watching commercial breaks, you see on each show the same commercials over and over because they're trying to get in your head, and believe it or not, you probably saw it 1 to 3 times before you actually even started to remember it. So 6 to 8 times is before anyone's going to remember your first name or even that there's a real estate agent continuously reaching out to them. So keep that in mind. And that's where we want the 10 days of gain. This is gaining a relationship. This is actually having an impact on someone so that they know, like, and trust you and they remember your name. So with that being said, I have this on your tables. You guys can take these home with you so that you can help yourself to remember. I also have scripts. I have dialogue. I'm happy to go over those with you guys. Just schedule a time with me. I will post them on the Facebook page as well. But the 10 days of pain, day 1, you call immediately. I have some people who get a Facebook lead and they text them or they email them. And that's okay, but for the most impact, you guys should be calling them right away. And believe me, if you're not, some other agent will. And call them every day for 10 days. But you want to add a few other things in there as well, email and text. Email and text, you want to do that 6 to 7 times during that 10 days of pain, and you want to follow it with each one of those phone calls. And so when you make that phone call, I always give myself permission in the phone call. I leave a voicemail saying, that I'm going to go ahead and send a text in case that's their preferred method of communication. And so I gave myself permission right away. So you guys do the same thing. Give yourself permission to text and email them. And then start a KV Core drip campaign. If you guys don't know how to do that, there are KV Core drip campaigns, classes on Element that you guys can watch at your leisure. It's on demand. And then set an e-alert. The e-alert is when you're setting up the searches. And this is really important because maybe you don't know what kind of property they're looking for, but that's all they care about. They don't really care about you at this point. They only care about houses. And so give them what they want, but don't inundate them. 3 times a week is the magic number that coaches are agreeing on, that's the one to use. Because if you set up an e-alert for right away, the ASAP that they're going to receive it immediately, they're probably going to unsubscribe from you. But if you do it 3 times a week while you're just trying to get contact with that person, that's the magic number that you should probably try. Any questions on 10 days of pain? Oh, 10 days of gain. I got to get my head right. Thanks, Buell. Thanks, Andrew. And I know that on top of that, Aaron wanted to talk a little bit about KV Core and Sisu.
What Annette just described is kind of the 10,000-foot view for any of you guys that are generating leads. And it really does apply to Zillow, Realtor.com, Facebook, social media, open houses, and just the 20 conversations you should be having a day. Once you get a person in your world from any of those lead sources, it should go into KV Core. KV Core is your database. That is going to be what is going to produce a lot of income and transactions for you in the future. So you want to manage those leads just like Annette described in KV Core. But you want to do it methodically. You have to have your drip campaign set up. You have to move your contacts through the buckets inside KV Core so that people are not getting lost. The maintenance is there and the follow-up is accurate. So when you have 1,000 leads or 2,000 leads, and every one of you can do it, you'll have that many leads in your database, it will start bringing you buyers and sellers. So when you're thinking about how do I manage my database at a very high level, and I've trained this before and I'm going to be doing classes on it, look at the KV Core Sisu flyer I created. It'll tell you exactly how to manage your leads from a new lead to a prospect to an active client to a sphere and nurturing your clients in your database. And every morning when you wake up, you should be going through your database with a cup of coffee and continuing to go through your database to follow up, nurture, and plan those 20 conversations each day. I could guarantee you 2 transactions per month if you do this and you run 1 Facebook ad at a $200 spend per month. There's easy ways to do this, and I think that we complicate the real estate industry sometimes. The simple way to do it is generate leads through conversations or paid ads and then manage them in KV Core. And a lot of you guys have heard that before, but I want to make sure that we're talking about it a little bit more too, because I think you get away from it and then you come back. It's something that needs to be done and mastered on a daily basis. So this is in front of you. It's also in Element. And then once you convert a lead into a client, then there's the Sisu side of things where you want to track the call date, the call attempt, when you converted the lead, and then you put that information in Sisu, and then it's going to spit out a report and says, this is what your forecasted commission income is with the pipeline of people that you've just created and converted. And it'll say, hey, you have 10 people that are potentially going to close escrow in the next 3 months. That's going to be a gross commission income of $30,000. That gets you pumped. That gets you back into your database and generating leads to convert them because you can see this money is coming in and I have clients coming. Once you get that up and running, you're going to turn into a Greg Martin closing 50 deals a year because you're getting referrals now. But you got to put a year or two of hard work into your KV Core database to get to that point. It just takes time, but you have to have that maintenance every single day when you're working in this business.
Yeah, like he said, those are available on Element in documents, and we've got them on each one of the tables here, and I always have them at my desk, so you guys can have a copy of that if you'd like. For those newer agents out there, or maybe those of you who just have have never worked your SOI. I know there's a few of you out there as well. I do also have a packet on the tables, and I also will have them on my desk. And this is just building your database from scratch, how to start with your SOI. So I know for some of you, this might be a little bit over your head of what you were thinking you wanted to do for lead generation. Start from ground zero and work that SOI and start building your database. So these packets are here for you. I won't go through them in detail today. I'm going to actually have a couple people come up. Kira and David, would you guys come up for just a second? And this week is book club, everyone. So I will have book club on in the training room at 2 o'clock. And what are you guys reading, Kira?
Come,
For you.
come over here a little bit, Kira. I want you behind the podium like a rock star. There you go.
Own that podium.
Good morning.
So this selection is great leads. It's how to write any sales message and copyright. They say it's the only book for this. So please join us. Please join us tomorrow
Mike got
in
the
the
mic.
in the training room, whether you've read it or not. We're having a lot of fun in book club, and I really appreciate everybody that has been coming out.
And what was the book again? Because I don't think everybody heard.
Great leads.
Uh-huh. And
what's this
describe that.
I haven't read it yet.
What is it about?
I will be reading this tonight. It's about how to write any sales message, so it would really help you with your social media posts, with maybe writing Facebook ads, any other ads that you might run.
Well, just even texting and calling people too, you'd have a really good idea what to say, right?
Absolutely.
If you get hung up a little bit.
Text messaging is really important. So come join us.
Great, thanks, Kira. And you guys, look, this is only this thick. So you guys can do it in 24 hours just like her. It's not.
is large too.
And the print is
Actually, this is it's kind of like a
Great.
brochure. I'm going to read this
Very
really
good.
fast. So.
And let's
Very
remind
good.
everybody when it is book club and where to find it.
Tomorrow at 2 p.m. You can join us live in the training room, or you can join from Team Up or the Elements
via Zoom.
Via Zoom.
via Zoom.
Definitely. And we also wanted to chat. I know we talked a little bit last week about how Kira had a listing and she held it and put on the MLS that they weren't going to accept any offers until today. Or is it Wednesday?
Well, we had to speed that process up
All right, tell us your story.
We had a really high, large offer that my seller didn't want to pass up on. So what I did is I had it as coming soon for 2 weeks, and we prepped the house. I sat down with my seller and we made a game plan. We got some maids to come out. We got the landscapers in. We got carpets cleaned, and we really let the house get ready to be photographed. We got the photos from Neon Sun. Brian's awesome. He did an amazing job.
Yeah.
Got the sign in. I also came into the office and I talked to some of my fabulous colleagues and said, hey, would you like to do an open house with me? I'm going to do it for 3 days, 10 to 4, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And David graciously accepted, as did Jeremy. And so we worked together. We got circle prospecting lists. We made the phone calls and invited the neighbors. We had 150 flyers. We met up on the Thursday morning before, and we just ran through the neighborhood, spreading the news about resolution and this new listing. And then we just worked it all weekend, and we had such a great time. I'd like to thank Chuck for setting up our signs, because we all know that's everybody's favorite part about an open house.
Right?
And we checked out a full set and we put them out there. We were very consistent in our placement. And I filled the house with flowers, and I baked cookies, and I had drinks available for people, all food that was wrapped up. I made everybody wear booties. I think it's a really nice mental thing for a prospective buyer to come in. It says, oh, this house is very well taken care of. And I really think that is an important piece. I know when we go out and show homes, if you have to put on booties, you're kind of like, oh, okay. This is
serious.
This is a nice house.
We call it impression of control.
Yes.
I like it.
I just wanted to step in. How did you get a seller in today's market to hold off on putting the home in the MLS? Because that's the conversion. That's what you have to do on a listing appointment.
So, well, what I did was I listened to our lovely success manager, and all of our wonderful coaches here, because they always tell us, get it coming soon. And we just live in a society where everything's too fast, and this is part of my SOI, and he had let me know he wanted to put his home on April 1st, and I said, that's great. Let me come over with the CMA. Let me present to you what I want to do. I want to do it as a coming soon so we can really prepare your home. This is the largest transactions of your life. This isn't going to Nordstrom's and buying a pair of shoes. Why would you just throw your home on the market in 2 days? So I sat down and I presented my plan to him, and it made sense. And because we have a relationship, and because of my professionalism, he really trusted me and listened to me. And let me tell you, he's very happy. We got an offer for $32,500 over list price. This home would and it's probably $42,500 over what it would appraise for. So we're really happy right now.
Good job. Good job.
So this was probably my 5th open house. I think one of the key learnings that I received from it is the teaming up with partners, and teaming up with partners that you haven't worked with before, because there's a lot of key learnings that actually come out of it. So first of all, thank all the resolution agents that came out to cheer us on and support us, because I think that was really important. The other piece too was there were some great learnings that I actually got from Kira that I'm definitely going to use going forward. And one of them was locking the door. I thought that was interesting, putting the sign on the door and locking it so that it feels exclusive to the person that's actually seeing the house. And safety as well. But I think the key is the impression of control and feeling exclusive, because I think that's the key thing that's missing, I think, from a lot of the people who are viewing homes right now. A lot of the potential customers is they just feel like they're sheep being herded in and out of a home. So I think that's key. I think the other piece too is we had 27 actual people walk through. So that was really exciting. Out of it, I received 1 prospect, and then 1 that is actually working with an agent. So I actually got 2, but I set her up on KV Core for a listing, and she's actually been communicating back and forth. And I think that's something that's really key to keep in mind. I had 1 from December who actually put in an offer with another agent, and it fell through. She's now back on KV Core looking at home. So don't discount or don't throw away those potentials, because I think that's really key. So that was another key learning. And then her presentation, I mean, she really helped stage the house. She really had that great conversation with the seller to really set him up for success. And I think that was another key learning that I got from it.
Great job.
Yeah, great job, you guys. And
I have a quick question for Kira.
We'll follow back up with Jeremy. Jeremy had some leads come out of it as well. He just wasn't able to make it. Maybe he's working with those leads right now. Probably.
Yeah. And that's awesome. So like 25 people came in, and are you guys splitting up the leads amongst the 3 of you?
Actually, what I did for my open house is I was just giving the leads to David and Jeremy because it was my listing. I only swing one way on a sale. And so if anyone wanted a buyer's agent for that, I wanted them to have that opportunity. And I intend to go back into the neighborhood. I'm going to use some of Kevin Wool's great door hangers, and I'm going to go farm. I'm going to make sure my presence doesn't go away, because I'm going to sell at least 2 more properties in there, if not more.
Nice.
Great job.
Love it. Good job, you guys.
Kick ass. Great job.
Andrometer.
Come on up, Ann.
Come on
You're the next
down.
contestant up.
Do it like you're on The Price is Right. Run up crazy like. Okay, do it that way. So, Ann, if you guys don't know, is our transaction coordinator, one of our transaction coordinators here.
morning.
And Ann is amazing at setting expectations with the seller. We've talked about setting expectations on the buyer side, but you want to set expectations with the seller for the home inspection as well. And so Ann's going to share with you how she sets those expectations so that everyone's prepared for when those repair requests come in and nobody freaks out.
So it is extremely important to set those expectations with your seller, but also your buyer as well, in what's going to occur. Please make sure that you're communicating which either side you're representing. When I have one of Aaron's sellers or an agent that I'm working with in the office on a listing side, I make sure that I talk to the seller and I say, hey, this is The scheduled home inspection, this time, this is who is coming in your house. I'd prefer if you're not home, please go to the movies, go get a coffee, take your dog to the park, whatever, be gone for 2 to 3 hours. And then the inspector or agent will text me when they're done, and you can go ahead and come back, because I don't want any communication there without us being present. And they just shouldn't be talking at this point.
Yep.
The seller and buyer and the other parties, they just should not be. So, but I also tell the seller, look, when the home inspection is over, within 24 hours, I will have a copy of the home inspection report, most likely, if they are asking for any kind of repairs. And then we will discuss that, and you're going to have some options. You can go ahead and decline, you can give a credit, you can pick and choose what you want to do, or maybe you want to do all of the repairs. But if you're going to be doing repairs, make sure that you get a receipt, because we want a receipt for our files, and we're going to give that to the other party as well. Also, if you're on the buyer side and you are scheduling a home inspection, please set the tone from the beginning with that buyer who is coming into that house, and make sure that you communicate that to the other agent. I am still in escrow with this file, where it's a very long escrow, and we're not due to close until the first week of May. But the buyer's agent did not show up at the home inspection, which is okay, except she allowed her buyer and 5 family members and 6 different vendors to show up at the house. And then I found out from the seller, because the seller's neighbor came over and took photos of all of the cars that were there, and they happened to have a guest at the property, and her stuff was everywhere. So I called the agent and I said, hey, how did that home inspection go? And she's like, oh, I heard it was okay. She's like, what's going on? Well, your home inspector is still there. It's been almost 5 hours, and you didn't show up. 6 vendors showed up, and there were 6 different people in the house with the buyer. What happened? And her response to me was, Ann, I don't have time to be a babysitter. So I wasn't very happy.
Don't be that agent. That's the moral of this story.
And my conversation with her was, well, I hope nothing was stolen out of the house. And if my seller decides to go ahead and file a complaint at you at the division, myself and Aaron and the broker will totally stand behind her. So have a great day. Is how it went. She transferred the file to somebody else, not even within her brokerage, and it's now with another agent. And I feel empathy for that second agent, because now she's having difficulty trying to rein that buyer in and keep her under control, because control was lost with the first agent. And I'm also having trouble with my seller. Because her response was, I understand this wasn't your fault, but now when the inspection repairs, the request comes over, I'm going to decline, and I hope they drop out. That's how bad it was. So please set expectations with your clients, whether you're on the seller side or the buyer side. And when that inspection report comes back and you're presenting it to your seller, just kindly remind them, hey, remember we talked about this. Don't be offended by 36 items that they're asking for. You don't have to do them. Let's talk about this, and we can decide what is the best answer that you're going to give this buyer.
Exactly. I tell my clients all the time, it's a request. That's what it says at the top of the form. Properties are sold as is in Nevada, and they can decline it, but make sure that the seller understands that as long as we're still in the due diligence, that also gives the buyer the option to walk away. Let them know all possible scenarios, and then when something happens, they're not upset with you. And so obviously this was an extreme case that Ann's dealing with. That's not something that happens normally, but setting the expectations and knowing who's going into the house can save yourself a lot of heartache down the road.
And just know that if your seller declines and it does happen to fall out of escrow due to a messy home inspection or parties not agreeing, you must go ahead and update your SRPD. You have to do that. Don't forget that. And I have had several, I spoke with Aaron about it. I've spoken with Mark Wiles about it. If it falls out and the other agent who comes along is like, hey, I know you guys did a home inspection. Can I just see that report? Nope. Go get your own home inspection. We're not going to go after that other one. You get your own, and we're not going to share that home inspection with you. You need to pay for your own home inspection, because that really, in my opinion, that home inspection is really good only for that previous buyer. who knows what will be found. Remember, home inspectors are paid to find mistakes and things wrong with the
Yeah.
property.
They can definitely, I mean, if it's okay with everyone, look at the report, but all the disclaimers about the report that's been signed off by the previous person who purchased it. So the liability rises when they don't buy their own. So that, to that point, that's a really good tip. Yeah. Thanks, Ann. We really appreciate
One
it.
big clap for Ann. Thank you, Dom. Appreciate it.
All right, so set those expectations. We have Brian, Mary's husband, coming up, and he's going to talk about some really exciting stuff. So everybody stand up and shake it off, because he's going to talk about financial planning, and I know that gets everybody really excited. But Brian's prepared for the excitement portion of this, I believe. We talked about it.
I don't know if I can handle the heat up here.
It's not your first rodeo. I think you're going to do just fine.
So do we have slides?
Yes, right above you.
Oh, perfect. Hey, it's me. Yeah, so I'm a financial planner. I got into this because I did about 15 years in the military prior to this. 13 of that was riding fire trucks. Unfortunately, I got promoted off the floor and into management, and I couldn't really find a purpose anymore, right? Like, I just didn't enjoy what I was doing, didn't feel like I was making an impact. So I started financial planning in Grand Forks, North Dakota, and really found that the impact I was having, the changes I was making for people was huge, and kind of felt fulfilled. And then that prompted us to leave the military 5 years before collecting a pension. So I'm really pretty passionate about it. Next slide, or do I do that?
Nope, he'll do it.
Appreciate you. So yeah, the bottom there is to continue a life of meaningful service. That's really kind of my mission in this.
Oh, there we go.
Back up one for me. There we go. All right, so what I love about what I do is the impact I can have in the community, the long-term relationships I build. You know, it's really cool to kind of work with somebody for just a couple of years and see all the phases of life that they've gone through, all the changes that they've made that I've helped them bring about. And why I'm excited about this partnership is, in particular, commission agents, 1099 employees, those types of folks, they really have a lot of flexibility in the things that they can do. They're not on that cookie cutter W-2 path where there's only so much you can do. There's a huge array of options that we have to go through for every phase of life. And it's really fun to kind of develop the plans for those people. Good, next. So I work as a 1099 with Northwestern Mutual, and kind of the value proposition there is, if you go to TD Ameritrade and say that I want to invest, right? They're going to be like, okay, how much do you want to give me? And then they'll just invest that money with no regard to your debt situation, with no regard to your liabilities or anything else. With Northwestern, we really kind of take a step back and we're like, okay, I hear you, but how else can I help you, and what's the first priority? We really set a precedent at building the foundation before we build the house, right? So I think that's huge just in the way that we conduct business. As far as the competitive advantage, we're the largest insurance broker. We're 30% larger than the next competitor. We've been around since 1867, so we have some history. We're the third largest investment broker, so to combine the two, we run about $600 billion through our company, and I'm lucky enough to work for an office that runs 6 of that. So pretty exciting about that. And this may just be conjecture, but in my opinion, we're the only broker that really does comprehensive planning, that doesn't prioritize insurance or investments. We step back, take a whole approach, and then, you know, even if Northwestern doesn't have the solution for you, we can broker it out and find a way to get you what you need. And it's really exciting to me that our level of customer service helps us build those long-term relationships. Across the board, Northwestern's average client retention is 41 years. So that's pretty impressive, if you ask me. Mm-hmm. And my last slide here is my contact information. And then right after here, we have a QR code, which is relevant to the conversation that was going on back there a little while ago. It's also extremely...
It was a lot of work to get that QR code, you guys. He really went through a lot with compliance. So.
My goodness, yeah. So what I didn't realize is when I sent this to them that everything attached to that QR code generates a whole new compliance review. So the Instagram, the Facebook, the Twitter, all of that stuff, they have to go through everything I've posted to make sure I'm not being a jerk.
So he's cutting edge, you guys. That's the exciting thing here. And it's also really exciting that Brian's offered to come into the brokerage. He's going to come in every other Thursday. I knew I should have written it down. Every other Thursday, he's going to come in and he's just going to be here to sit down and talk financial planning with you guys. And so for those of you who are wondering, what do I need to do to get started with investments or my future, or just, even planning something simple, just where should you start? He's going to have those consultations for you, and he's going to be here for 2 hours, right?
I plan to get here around 1:30 or 2 and then just stay through the afternoon. So really all you have to do to get started is just go to work. I'll be here.
Yep, and it'll just be a walk-in basis. And what should they do to prepare for that?
Initially it'll just be a real kind of high-level conversation. Again, you could come to me with investment questions, but my obligation to you as a fiduciary is to make sure that we're making the right decision. So we'll really just have kind of a high-level talk. What are your thoughts? What do you want to do? How can I help you? And then we'll move forward from there. It's usually a 3-4 meeting process, but it can go, depending on how much time you have, much faster.
Yeah, so I'm excited about this opportunity. I haven't been at brokerages before that have a financial planner right there. And I hope that you guys are all thinking about it. I know that we've brought this up a few times. Most people don't start thinking about it until they're regretting it. And so take the time, talk to Brian, and we really appreciate the partnership too. We're really excited about it.
Yeah, absolutely. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks,
you.
Brian.
Thanks,
One
Thank
big
you.
clap for Brian.
Hey.
Thank you so much. All right, guys, we have some exciting updates. Aaron, do you want to start with some of them? Or you know what? I'm sorry.
No, I
Never
don't.
mind. I'm
Not just
kidding.
yet, 'cause I'll never break the
I
format.
jumped ahead of 2 people there. I'm just going. You know what? How about we talk to Kevin, considering he gave us breakfast?
Yeah,
right?
let's bring up Kevin.
Keep moving along. Hey, good morning, everybody.
Let me see if that's on real quick.
It is possibly.
No, that gray button there.
Is that on?
Right.
Wow. Hot mic, hot mic. Good morning, everybody. Kevin, First American, again. I hope you enjoyed the breakfast. We were talking about sphere of influence earlier, and I want to piggyback on that a little bit because, after being with First American for 30 years, I look back to when I first started, and I wonder, how the heck did I get all these great clients? And what you have to do is you have to start small. Start growing it, get your pipeline going. Mary and I were talking earlier. I'm like, just get that pipeline going, and then 18 months from now, you're going to see things blossom. I think what happens a lot in our industry is you try a lot of different things right up front, and then they just blow up and you never get any business from it. You just got to stay consistent in your actions of whatever that is every day, the 5 things that you do, and it will eventually come to you. So that would be my advice to a lot of the younger folks that, in time it will grow. I promise you. I mean, when I was in my 20s and doing this with Aaron, trying to get his business back then, it
Never gave it to him.
Yeah, he never did. Merit Realty, baby.
Until now.
But it's just like you got to stay consistent, and eventually something will pop in that fruit tree with the apple will drop, and you'll be able to pick it up, and you'll have that business. As far as home warranty goes, we are right in the thick of spring, and with spring, what comes? Air conditioning. It's our toughest season for home warranty because obviously we want to take care of our clients and get them back up and running as quick as possible. But the best thing you can do for your client is get our HVAC tune-up option, which is $25. And then we come out pre-season between February 1st and April 30th, and we actually inspect the unit, make sure it's ready to go for the season, and we can kind of get our eyes on it before that season starts. I would highly suggest, and a great contact to your client right now is just to give them a call and say, hey, have you turned on your air conditioning? You might want to get it running. Remember that warranty we bought? Yeah, you might want to check it out. So even for yourself, turn on your air conditioning, make sure it works right now, because when it hits 115 and it's not working, you're going to be pissed. Right. And then you're going to go, I should have listened to Kevin. I should have turned on the damn air conditioner, even though it's going to cost me $20 to turn it on. So Anyway, get the HVAC tune-up option. It's $25. I did hand out a flyer about our HVAC coverage. We have one of the best HVAC coverages in the industry. I'm in touch with all my competitors. I know what's going on out there. We cover the full cost of Freon. That is not something you're going to see in other plans. They like to pass that cost on to the homeowner. We replaced with 14 SEER, which is the highest level that the government's requesting at this point. If you want to know what SEER means, it's seasonal energy efficiency ratio. Means units taller, wider, and more energy efficient. So just make sure that you put that HVAC tune-up option on and make sure people are starting things up. And I'm going to get off stage now. You guys can go back to your business. Hit me up on whatever platform. I'm available.
Thank you so
Thank you
much,
so
Kevin.
much.
And I think we'll slide right into Annie from Landmark as well. Told you guys we have a lot of guests today.
I know we went back and forth a couple times. As a reminder, if you're opening escrow with Annie Sawyer, put Landmark Meadows on your contract. Simple as that. I know we went back and forth a couple times.
right.
It's still the case, right? Nothing's
Yes.
changed? Okay,
Yes.
great.
Hi guys, I'm Annie from Landmark. Nice to meet you guys if I haven't already. I just wanted to talk about 1031 exchanges. There are a bunch of companies that your clients can choose. I just wanted to do a gentle reminder to let me know ahead of time. I get agents the day of recording saying, oh, by the way, they want to do a 1031. We can't do that just because both buyer and seller do need to sign documents. And then also, depending on the company, they do charge a fee to be collected at closing. So I need to have that on my settlement statement. The lender needs to know about it. So it's just always a good time. As soon as you know, just to let me know, and then I can reach out to the company. We can exchange documents, and then I can have the client sign them.
Does
That
it?
brings up, oh, go
I
ahead.
was going to say, usually, how much time do you typically need? It
At least
sounds
a
like
day.
a day.
At least a day.
Oh, a day's not bad. I was thinking a week or two, but no. Yeah.
I mean, I prefer like as soon as you know, let me know. But you know, we do last minute ones. Just
Okay.
don't let me know day of closing, please.
I was just thinking that brings up a good question that I have agents ask all the time. Does it affect the buyer at all when they're doing a 1031 exchange, other than they have to sign a paper?
No, they just have to sign a paper.
Or,
Yeah.
or the seller.
Yeah, and oftentimes agents will see it. You guys will see it on the agent remarks, and so that question comes up, and so you'll just know it's just for full disclosure.
Amy had a question?
Yeah, you might want to explain to them 31 to the newer agents.
A 1031.
Well, yeah, just in short, a 1031 is when someone is wanting to take those proceeds and reinvest it to avoid taxes. That's the simple version. There's a lot of classes out there. You guys can get CE on 3 hours of learning about 1031s exchange, but I also want to tell you, just saying with liability, don't become the person that explains 1031 exchanges in depth to someone, because that is one of the biggest reasons that agents end up before the division, because they are getting out of their lane. You are not attorneys. You are not a 1031 exchange company, so let someone else handle telling the full picture there. But yes, people can defer those taxes by reinvesting that money within a certain amount of time.
And that time frame is usually 120 days, just in case you guys didn't know.
Good info. Did you have anything else to add, Annie?
I am doing a class this Thursday at 1.
At 1 o'clock?
I was just going to do Escrow 101, so I hope you guys can
What are
make
we
it.
going to go over in Escrow 101?
Just the general idea of like what the escrow process is for your clients, what I do in a day, what you guys do.
Preliminary title reports?
Yes.
Yeah,
Maybe a
I
little.
covered a lot of that
Great
last class, but I will cover that
Yeah,
on this
okay.
class as well.
Yeah, just a really good basic overview of escrow. So I encourage you guys all to come 1 o'clock in the training room. It'll also be available Zoom. Check the team up calendar. Sonia, did you have a question?
Yes, I actually have a 1031 and right now, but we don't have to disclose that anywhere on RPA, right? I'm just saying, because I
On the RPA?
that or anywhere on our forms, whenever our seller is doing one.
There's a box on the listing agreement, but not on the purchase agreement.
Yeah,
To
so
dis-
escrow doesn't, I don't really care if you guys disclose it. I don't know what you guys have to do to be compliant with your guys' files. I just need to know about it because I need to send the 1031 company my documents and they need to send me their documents.
And for the Zoomers at home, Sonia's question was, does the 1031 need to be disclosed on the offer? It does not. So good question, Sonia.
Yeah.
And I think for that escrow class, I know we say 101, but I can walk in there myself and learn something from Annie, right? Or ask some questions that I might have been thinking about. So I don't want to think any of the seasoned agents, you've done 1,000 transactions, go and attend, say hi, you're going to learn something in there and be able to ask your questions as well.
Yep.
And did you notice that like office back there's almost
Oh my
done?
gosh, it's done.
Yeah, so we're getting
There's no plastic.
no, so we're getting really
moving
close to moving. You're moving into your new home soon. It's almost done, and then so Annie will be here for just more general questions and being a part of the team every day. So
Yeah, that'll be
thank
great.
you so much, Annie. Really
Thank you,
appreciate it.
Annie.
Let's give her a round, guys.
The landmark title snack bar.
Yeah, yeah. Can I?
Right? It looks like a snack bar.
Do you mind getting me a cocktail while you're up there, please?
It's a bar now, too.
It's the first Escrow Untitled bar in Las Vegas, Nevada, guys. We are on some cutting edge things here. Should I go into updates then? Now am I available?
Where your
All
name
right.
is.
So we have 150 agents at this office, and I asked for everybody's feedback, and 47 people filled out the forms anonymously and with their names. But I wanted to thank everybody who filled out the forms. The feedback was great. It's definitely important to us, and I heard from a variety of agents with a variety of topics, and everything that you guys put in there, we are wholeheartedly reviewing. We had a leadership meeting with 9 of us in the conference room yesterday, and we dissected every single one of those feedback forms. So with that being said, we are going to take that feedback and implement it for everybody at this office. Somebody that's been here one day or has been with me for 10 years is going to find value in what we are bringing to the table upcoming here with the office. A couple things to go over that we were going to implement to give you just like a 10,000 foot view. I'm going to do a lead generation class every single week. That'll be 1 hour. It'll be for new agents, seasoned agents. Everything you need to know about lead generation will be my class every single week starting next week, the following week. We're 2 weeks from starting it. I'm also going to do an investor workshop. Investor workshop is wholesaling, house flipping, and off-market properties. That will be once a month. It is a 2 to 3 hour class. There's a lot that goes into it, so I'm not going to have it every week. I'm going to have that once a month for everybody. We are also adding more KV Core training, and that's going to be every other week in the classroom hosted by a variety of our coaches. KV Core is also lead generation. Open it up, look at the marketplace. There's 20 different, 30 different ways to generate leads. We want you guys looking at that all the time. We want to make sure you're managing your database the right way, and we want to scale that database. So anything that you have on a level of any questions or concerns, come to KV Core classes. We're going to do some CSU classes so we can get back into our goal setting, team challenges, and setting conversations so that you guys can do 2 transactions a month. I'd love to see everybody closing 24 transactions a year. That is my sole goal with everybody in here, if not more. And I know every one of you guys can do it. I've seen it, I've trained it, I've coached it, I've done it myself. All of us know how to do it. Why are all of you not doing it? I want to know, and we're going to show you how. So we're going to keep it really simple with that stuff. We are also implementing the daily dose. The daily dose is Monday through Friday from 9 to 11. And it'll break down a little bit differently, but the first thing we're going to do is come in as a team. There's going to be a coach here, and we're going to do a huddle. We're going to get pumped up. We're going to have music. We're going to figure out what the day looks like for you, and then you guys are going to break, and you're going to go into your day. But it's going to be every single day. We're going to be mentoring, coaching, and getting everybody pumped up at the office. And then after that breaks, then we're going to spend an hour. It's basically the professor hour where anybody in this office can come in and sit down and ask questions and get mentorship right on spot every single day. We're going to be available for you. These are the things that you guys were asking for, so we are sitting down and implementing them. We also have some other changes I'm not going to get into just yet that are going to be great for everybody. We do have some additional classes we're discussing right now to put into the Team Up calendar, and there's going to be something for everybody every single day, every single week, and we're going to just pump this jam up. So thank you so much for all the feedback.
Yes, very exciting stuff coming up. You guys will start seeing some of that stuff pop onto the team calendar too, so you'll see a little bit more description on it. Hey Chris, did you want to talk a little bit about your listing coming up? Here, let me give you this real quick. So I know a lot of you probably don't know Chris. He doesn't come in and
Stand up,
grace
Chris.
us
Say
with
hi
his
to everybody.
presence very often. But Chris is an agent that's been with us for a little while, and he's got a great listing coming up that he wants to share with you all.
Yeah, I actually got a listing. Going to have it under contract this weekend. It's actually in Pahrump, and it's about 1,800 square feet, 3 bedrooms, 2 bath, 1.2 acres. It's a great horse property, so it already has all the stalls. I think 4 stalls with it, so definitely ready to go. Already got the pictures. Should be I'm thinking Wednesday, the 13th. We'll go live with it. So.
Does it come with any horses?
Could probably work out a deal if you want a horse or 2.
Yeah, are there a few
Because
up
they got
there?
6 horses.
No kidding. That's
Yeah.
awesome. Yeah, everything's negotiable. Good call. What's the list price on that listing?
That's one thing we're still working on. It's going to be the low 300s though, for sure.
Okay, that's not bad, huh?
Yeah.
That should
Yeah.
sell pretty fast.
Yeah, that's what we're thinking.
Well, thank you, Chris.
Yeah.
Hopefully get that under contract.
Does anybody else have any listings that they want to talk about? All of the company listings that you guys have submitted are already actually posted on the Facebook page, so you guys can find them on there if you have any questions. Also, the Open app. If you're not in the Open app and you want to do open houses, reach out to Ryan Schuler, our operations manager, and he'll get you into the Open app so that you can claim open houses as they come available. And so, again, reach out to Ryan for that.
Yeah, and usually we come up here every week and I have a handful of new listings that are hitting the market. And it's usually around 4 or 5 coming in. There's 13 new listings that just came in this week for this office. Yeah, so let's go. The listing department's doing really good, and the agents in our office are also part of these listings as well. So there's 13 of them hitting the market right now, and Sonia and I were just discussing the market conditions. We have seen an uptick in listings. The buyer demand is still there. We're still closing 3,500 units per month, but if you look at the Market Watch stats, all of the listing inventory is going up right now. Can somebody tell me why the listing inventory is going up right now? Time of year. Exactly. It's the time of year. This is what I said in November and December that would happen. So if you don't have listings, you weren't doing the work that needed to happen back in November and December, but there's still time. So you guys should be going out and trying to get listings and utilizing your coaches on how to do that. That listing inventory, though, that is hitting the market, Kira, may be a little bit overpriced, guys, because a lot of people are saying this is the best time of year. I've seen the values increase, and I feel like everybody said our market's going to increase another 20% this year. So keep an eye out on those listings. When you call the listing agent, they'll probably say I might have 0 or 1 offers. That means it's overpriced. If it's priced correctly, they're going to say I have 30 offers. So just be prepared and make sure before you show any homes, you place a phone call to the listing agent. That's the #1 priority for you guys. And let's watch this inventory. I'll bring some more stats next week, and we'll deep dive into all the sectors then. Sound good?
Sounds good.
Did I take it over on you?
No.
No, good.
No.
All right. I like talking
I'm
market
calm
conditions.
today because we are good on time. I am so calm. This is great. And we could just stand here for another 10 minutes.
Okay.
Has anyone knocked anything off of their vision boards? Not yet.
I did.
What'd you knock off?
I got 4 snowboard trips and a trip with my family.
Man, you're killing it.
Yeah.
That's great.
Worked out good. Nobody
Andrew,
else?
what'd you
Nobody got
knock off?
anything? Got one, Andrew?
Still doing 2 books a month.
Nice.
I'm on pace, so I'm going to start Fierce Conversations, I think.
Oh, I love that book.
I know. That'll be the first half of this month, then I got to figure out another one. Maybe Giftology will be the second one.
2 books a month.
2 books
Crushing
a month.
it. Are you getting
Nice.
smarter?
No.
No? What are you getting from that then?
I think I'm getting smarter. Don't ask Val.
Okay.
No, the books have been good. Actually, I read one earlier this year. Thanks. Thanks, Mike.
Why don't you stand on up? Give us a little shout about it.
Yeah, we're actually reading a book that I recommended as leadership called Multipliers. And it specifically relates to leaders who are managing teams and how to best get folks excited, exhilarated, working harder, being more efficient, and all that. So it's a great read. I recommend it. But specifically if you find yourself in a leadership role and you're trying to encourage those around you, But giftology is another one. We always talk about giving gifts and trying to make sure that we're leaving an imprint on our clients so that they remember us. Giftology is a great one, so that you're actually giving them gifts that mean something, that make them look at something and go, oh man, Val was my agent. She got me that 2 years ago, and they always remember who you are because of that gift. You're not just like, here's a plant, thanks, and you know that the plant. Okay, great. You know, you gave me a plant, but I just bought $1 million house with you. Maybe you get them a little something more, a nice sign or something they hang in their house. So that's another one I'd recommend. Anywho, multipliers.
Thanks, Andrew.
Awesome
Thanks,
stuff.
Andrew.
Great
And
tips.
I bet if you guys don't want to look for books, you can join Kira and the book club guys, and they'll have this similar ones to what Andrew's discussing today
Yeah,
too.
definitely.
Good stuff.
Couple updates. This week, tomorrow, ERS training, 9:15 in the training room. I'd love for you guys to join me. It's a great discussion. You can also Zoom in via the team calendar. Headshots tomorrow. So if you need a new headshot or an updated, do you need a new headshot?
Yes.
I guess. Apparently. Okay, tomorrow, 10 a.m. in the training room. And then we have book club, and I'll also turn that on in the training room. I'm sorry?
No ERS tomorrow.
Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. I'm so in the habit of it. Thank you, Mike. There is no ERS this week at all. So we can be in the training room if you guys want to. We'll have some dialogue in there if you guys come in tomorrow morning. We also have boot camp at 11 o'clock on Thursday, and Landmark will be doing Escrow 101. And then on Friday, I hope, I'm putting this on the calendar at the very last minute, but I hope some of you guys can join me, some of you cold callers or warm callers. We are going to do a cold call war. And so we're going to be in there for 2 hours. For one of the hours, it is going to be who can get the most email addresses in that time, and I am going to be calling with you guys. One of the prizes will be any email addresses that I get, any contacts that I get will pass on, but there will be prizes too. So I hope to see you guys on Friday between 1 and 3. We'll do that in the training room as well. I'm going to be circle prospecting. That's what I'm calling on. You guys call on whatever you want, but if you're coming to war, I hope you come prepared. So bring your phone numbers, bring your headsets, bring your game face, all of it. Yes. Yes, Kevin?
You're going to show up. I'm going to add a prize in there.
All right.
So, I don't know. It's mystery prize.
Ooh, I love it already.
But I'll add a prize for that for you to show up.
Nice. I love it. Thanks, Kevin. He's always giving us some great tools, and now prizes too. It's great. So I hope to see you guys there. Now we'll just wrap this up. I have a couple bell ringers. Does anyone else have? I'll let you guys go first. Does anyone else have anyone they want to celebrate? Anyone you want to pat on the back? Go ahead.
Yeah, I want Stephanie to go ring the bell because she's been dominating the book and has appointments
What?
in the book.
Nice. Good job.
Sonia, come on up.
I'm going to just keep them rolling too. I want to have Kathy come up for her escrow close.
Good job. You take a little picture with me.
And we'll have Mary come up for her escrow opened. Do you have any?
And then ring the bell. Just pull on it.
And
There you go.
woo! Kira Brewer can go on up for opening escrow and having an
job.
amazing open
Get
house.
a picture with me. Yeah, got it. Sonia. Kathy Ochoa. Good to see you, my doll. Ring that bell for me and take a picture.
Woo-hoo!
And then Kira, what did you do? I just missed it up there.
She's amazing.
There we go. Congratulations. Ring that for me.
All right.
Okay.
And
then Sonia, how many escrows do you have right now? 6. Ring that bell. Oh. Ah, you broke it.
To me this
Take a
time.
picture with me. Grab her.
Awesome.
You broke it. I don't know what happened. It's okay. I'll get it fixed.
All right. Is this thing
Come on up, Kate. Kate. Hold on. I got one more. Kate Alessi, how many escrows do you have, my dear? 6. All right. I'll ring it for you. All right. right, good job, Kate.
Nice job.
All right, and a nice shout out to Scott. I want to ring the bell. He has been going with me monthly to Findlay for our Ladies' Nights events so that I have a loan officer on hand, and goes now with me out to Pahrump for First Fridays. So we had a great showing with a large number of vendors. Scott, go ring the bell. I want to see Aaron give you a hug.
Yeah, Scott's been really great at doing a lot of open houses and helping our agents out. And Amy, that is a great setup you guys got networking. Congratulations, my friend. I'm going to help you do this. Or you got it ready. Go like that. I'm going to let you get it. All right, let me take a picture with me real quick. Right here.
Well, congratulations, everyone. Go out and sell lots of real estate. Thanks for coming.
Have a great day, everybody. Bye, Zoomers at home. We'll see you later.
I used to be so happy, but without you here, I feel so low. I watch you as you left, but I can never seem to let you go. 'Cause once upon a time, you were